Gold is always referred to, no other metal, gold is referred to, other than this one issue where it said silver. And it's possible silver might work also, but I know gold works. Gold will be absorbed by the body. It is not a heavy metal. It will be taken in the body, and it literally will flux flow, not resonant couple now like your body function. It will flux flow within your body, and you literally will develop an aura that is maybe 50 times what you have right now. Okay, that's what literally is said will be coming and will change people to their original state of being as they were meant to be, as they were created to be, and all of the DNA will function, and you will physically not be recognized by people who knew you before you took this. You have to fast so there's nothing else in your digestive system. You have to take only the semen of the Father in heaven, or the bread of the presence of God, or whatever you want to call it, in your body in mega amounts. We're talking about at least a gram and a half of white powder, hydrated with water, and one time taking it to get enough of it throughout the body that it looks like it will be literally capable of literally a superconductivity in your body. Okay, not resonance coupling. And that's why I wanted you to understand, people, when it goes to the 4/9 loss, it's a orange state. It is now resonance coupled at 2 dimensions. When you see those jumps of the flux flow, that's when it's superconducting. It literally, in your aqueous phase of your body, it does not chemically react with anything, but it literally in the water, it freely will turn and adjust its spacing in your body until it literally is a perpetual resonating system that then begins to superconduct. And when it begins to superconduct, you truly will become a light being, and you will appear to glow when you walk in the room. You will be one with the Godhead, as he said. All knowledge, all past, and all future is there in the vacuum. And when you have this superconduct body, you literally are one with the Godhead. You are one with the vacuum, and you don't have to read a book. You don't have to study anything. You have all knowledge and all understanding. You literally can read the minds of other people without talking. You don't have to eat again. All you need is a very minute amount of water, and you literally can exist without aging for 800 to 1,000 years. If you don't eat anything else, which you don't need to eat, because literally the energy fields around you are inducing energy into the superconducting body. So all the energy you need is around you. You don't have to eat. Only a very small amount of water is required to maintain yourself. About every 6 months, you'll need just a small amount of additional gold added to sustain it at this condition. But you don't have to go through the whole thing again. This is why the gods came here to earth, according to Sitchin, to get gold. It was very important to their society and their life. It was their food. They needed the gold. And they created the Adama to do the mining for them, and they kept Adama in Ed-In, and then they created a mate for him so he could procreate, and then eventually they gave him the secret of how to make the food of the gods. The god leader was very furious that man was given this information because it was knowledge that only they were supposed to possess, and the knowledge of how to make the white powder of gold, which is the food of the gods, it was only known by certain people in ancient times. And those people did live for a very long times. As recorded in the Bible before the flood, people lived 800, 900, 1,000 years. And they could ascend and look face to face at God and the Creator and all their ancestors and all the people gone before them and know all understanding of all things and return back in their physical bodies, because they have a whole light body. Everything within that miser field now that comes on when it begins to flux flow is now literally timeless. Okay? All right. You used the word white powder, okay? Nothing works but pure gold. And I was never interested in gold. All these years of research, I was working on rhodium, iridium, platinum. But in doing the medical research for the last 12 years, I can tell you that gold is the only one that seems to be correct. And now coming back and doing the studies on the TGA of gold, it literally flux flows at the initial temperatures. It starts going crazy. And so,
Maybe someone experienced, let's say, someone in the audience here would try to do that today. What would their body go through?
all right, we're going to have questions and answers here shortly. I haven't talked to the public for 12 years, but in 8 months, last time I spoke, I literally was allowing people to become Science the Spirit members for $500. People are saying, Dave, I want to give you $50, I want to give you $100. And I said, I just can't take your money. You need to get something in exchange. So what I decided is I would give them Science the Spirit memberships for financial contributions. Okay. In 8 months' time, I raised $2.5 million. I haven't told people the total before. But literally, you know, I had expended this money on the plant and equipment and all the chemical tanks, glass line fodder reactors, heaters, muffle furnace. You literally climb out and walk into the furnace, you know, all three-phase, all commercial quality. And when it came time to turn on the power, the inspector said, I won't turn on your power. I don't think you're really doing agriculture work here. And I said, well, I'm not selling your product. I'm not in business. I'm just a farmer that is interested in this. They wouldn't turn on the three-phase power. So I went over and turned the power on from my well, took an underground power line brought over, brought up, and brought the well. I had to put bigger transformers on with the power I had. So now my irrigation well sets with no water coming out, and the meters are going round and round and round and round. Anyway, I have literally rebuilt a plant overseas. We are ready to go into production, but the doctors are afraid to give a 1.5 grams amounts to people right now, because in the purity we produce it, it's about 99 to 98.5 to 99% purity. But under standard analysis, it analyzed to be silicon aluminum. And a doctor who gives 1.5 grams of something analyzed to be silicon aluminum is giving a lethal amount of aluminum to the patient. So doctors are hesitant to give this to people, because even in the other side of the world, the same standards apply as we have over here in the U.S. Okay, that much aluminum in single dose is considered lethal. You can't give that amount to a patient. What I can see has to be done, and what everyone here should want to be done and understand needs to be done, and why I'm doing this videotape, and I want it to go out to everybody who wants videotapes. I want it to go out, okay? Because I want them to understand that I'm trying to raise some money now, and I don't want the people overseas that I'm working with to be the ones that fund it. I want this to be something that is available to every analytical laboratory in the world. It needs to be sanctioned by the Bureau of Standards, Weights and Measures, and it needs to be a monatomic rhodium, monatomic silver, monatomic platinum, monatomic palladium, monatomic iridium, monatomic rhodium, monatomic osmium, monatomic ruthenium standards that are certified by the U.S. Bureau of Standards, Weights and Measures. And any analytical laboratory then that has something they might suspect may be monatomic precious metals will have a standard they put on the machine. They tell the computer, when you see this, it's gold. When you see this, it's iridium. When you see this, and the standards have already been made for rhodium for the catalytic converter industry. It just became available about 4 or 5 years ago. But the instrumentation they have to use is mass spectrometry. So they have to shoot the atom through a magnetic field and see how it deflects, and then they take the unknown and shoot it through the field and see if it deflects exactly the same. Because rhodium is unique and only has one isotope, it's rhodium 103. So there's no radioactive isotopes and no multiple isotopes like iridium has. But I'm not happy with that standard, even though it's sanctioned by the Bureau of Standard Weights and Measures, and you can actually acquire this mononuclidic, they call it mononuclidic rhodium standard, by contact the Bureau of Standards, and you can get a copy, a little bottle, it says on it, mononucleotic rhodium. And there's actually published technology on how you do the analysis for mononucleotic rhodium, because they knew that it wasn't analyzable by any standard methods also.